Man United 3, Leicester City 0. Composed win, comfortable win, clean sheet. And Ruud gives us to Amorim in decent nick. Well, there's still loads of things to do, but in terms of results, that's very positive.
Yeah, we're not far off the top 4 now, are we? What, 4 points or something like that? So yeah, not bad. And we've survived another manager. So it's been Moyes, Giggsy, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole, Carrick, I forgot him, and obviously
Rangnick.
Rangnick.
Don't forget, mate. Come on.
There's been
Keep
many managers now. Yeah, so we survived another one, and
that wasn't a bad reign.
No, he's done
stabilised the ship.
He's done okay. Yeah. I thought today was a comfortable performance, but Leicester,
terrible.
They're going down. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Standout performance from us because there was quite a few today.
I wouldn't say there's quite a few. I'd say 2 or 3. I think Ahmad was brilliant.
That's what I meant,
Ahmad was class. Ugarte was class.
What did you like about Ugarte and what is he starting to bring? What do you see in him? How do you think he'll be moving forward? Talk to me about him.
It's tough. I think he did really well today because I think he just had one of those games where every tackle he went into, or 70% of them, he won them. I think there'll be a lot of games when he goes into a lot and loses them, and we'll get really frustrated with him. But today he did well. I think the one thing that slightly frustrated me, and I'm probably being a bit harsh here, was that he won the ball a lot of times but didn't pass it forwards. It was always sideways or backwards.
Yeah, he's very safe. But then a couple of times, I think for the second goal, he passed it through the gap over to the left-hand side. A couple of times dropped the shoulder, went forward, but mostly, 7 times out of 10, he's going to play the safe and give it to the players who can play.
Yeah, exactly, but that's not a bad thing,
no.
Especially if it's going for a 3-4-3 going forward.
Exactly, you're going to need
being safe. There's no extra player in midfield to bounce it round, so that makes sense. You can see why he's suited for that system. It's just hopefully he gets his duel rate a little bit better for when we play against the better teams. But yeah, a really good performance. Got to say he's done very well. I'd probably give him man of the match. I'd say. Yeah,
over Ahmad. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Bruno, two really good goals from him. In open play, yes, of course. There's still Bruno-isms, he's not can't say it, but the goals on his 250th appearance, just for the positive side, the first goal was brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's 157 goals and assists in 250 appearances.
That's staggering, isn't it?
It's incredible, and the mess that he's been in for most of the time he's been here, it's not been a great team that he's been in, so those numbers are insane. But at the same time, the majority of the time in open play, it's still, how many times over the past 3-4 years have we been here talking about Bruno being frustrating after a game? He scored 2 brilliant goals, but then, just so many times in open play, it's frustrating. It's not because he's not good enough. It's because he could do it.
Do you know? I was just going to ask that because some people do say it's because he's not good enough to play in that way, to play calmly, to be technically sound, retain possession. Some people say no, it is because he's not good enough to do that. But you say it's not that. What do you think it is then?
I think it's a mental thing. I think he just doesn't have the ability to slow it down when he needs to. I think he's just playing constantly like he's just had a rush of blood to the head. It's constantly on the edge of needing to do something now, or he's finished. It's so frustrating.
Do you think it's something that will change under Amorim? Do you think he'll get something different out of him, or maybe just embrace that side of him to make him look better, which also a manager can do?
Look, I think the ridiculous, probably slightly wild prediction I've got for the Amorim stuff is I don't think Bruno and Rashford can play together. I don't see any way that's going to happen. I think Rashford today was shocking. I think I think for me, we've said it so many times over the past few years, he needs a new environment, a new challenge, something that's completely fresh, because it just seems like every single time something doesn't go his way, shoulders slump, and he's just And
every time he got it, I felt like he wanted to keep it extremely safe. No, do you know what? Just give it. Just you have it back, man. I ain't trying to go at James Justin. If I lose it, these lot will get on my back. He's just not expressing himself. There's just nothing there, is there?
I think mentally there's just too much negativity here around him now. And when you're that sort of player, you've got to be like Garnacho is. If you're not, if things aren't working, you don't care. You just keep doing it,
Because he did that today. Actually, let's get to Garnacho because so much criticism recently, and rightly so in terms of some of his decision making, his performances in the last couple of games. But I think Troy Deeney said it. He's our top goal scorer. But today, he's clean through, falls over, hurts his wrist. You're thinking, he just can't beat these charges. He just can't. But again, just give me it. Wraps it, top bins. And you could tell, I think, didn't want to celebrate. There was a few going over to him to not console him, it's probably a bit strong, but just talk to him, say, listen, you've been under it, but thank the fans. This is what it is. But you can tell he had a bee in his bonnet.
Yeah, you can see that. But I think I think with Garnacho, the player we've got now is probably the player he's always going to be. I don't see him getting too much better because what makes him good is his biggest weakness at the same time. He's good because he's so fearless and just keeps being direct and keeps going at it. But also that's his problem because when we need someone to slow it down and calm it down, he doesn't do it. And Rashford's almost gone the opposite way. So what happened to Garnacho if he takes on board what the fans are saying is he'll turn into Rashford now and he'll stop taking people on, he'll just stay wide, hold the width, then just pass it back.
And you don't want that either, do you?
No, you don't. No. You want him to keep doing what he's doing. Unless you got someone that's got a temperament of like Saka, where he can mix it up and go at people when he needs to, calm down and play someone else in when he needs to as well.
Yeah.
Garnacho's not got that. He's just relentless and he's just hot-headed. That's great.
And off the bench, that's almost where he should be this early, or maybe just, I'm not going to say forever, he'll have aspirations to obviously, be way better than that than a bench player. But for us right now, that's, 70th minute, you don't really want to see Garnacho coming on as a fullback when you've been up and down as it is, and that shows it. That was like first season Garnacho, that was.
In all honesty, James Justin was probably thinking, oh no, when Rashford went off, because he had an easy game.
Yeah.
Really, really easy. Like especially when Leicester had the ball, he'd just have to run forward 5 yards and Rashford wouldn't be interested in chasing him back. So, yeah, he was probably panicking when Garnacho's come on, and I've got to say, yeah, it's shocking how bad Rashford's... I feel bad just piling on him. It's almost like...
Yeah, because you don't want to. It's not enjoyable to watch it. No.
I feel sorry for him now.
You're just saying what you see. Like, you just see someone who's just zapped of any... Like, today, when I saw him in the first half, because he's on my side, like, every time, his first thought is, get it out my feet and just set it back where it came from, so that nothing bad happens. That's what it feels like.
He's scared, and it's a shame. He was so good when he was younger, but he just, I'd like to see him flourish somewhere else and get the enthusiasm back and get a fan base that's really behind him. Not saying that people are doing the wrong thing by not being like that. He's not deserved it from his performances, but it's time for him to go somewhere else and just get a new challenge, I think.
Up front, Rasmus Højlund and Xerxes came on, and the game was probably suited him, to be fair, actually, because he had so much space to get into the half turn. And
the game suited him because he was playing against championship players, 2-0 up, and the game was at half pace.
Exactly.
I've got to say, the forward players are what sacked Erik ten Hag. Both of them are crap. Højlund is, I think I said last week that I've seen some improvements in his hold-up. Nah.
We saw a couple of glimpses, didn't we?
Maybe he had a good game, but he's just not got it.
He doesn't know whether to like the timing of when to go and engage, when to back in, when to maybe go and collect the ball so you don't have to engage. It's just really off, and he's going long periods without touching the ball. Then when he does, it's bouncing off him, he's losing it.
Do you know, like, there's players that you can tell aren't the smartest, and like Cole Palmer's one of them, but his way of getting around that is he doesn't think.
Yeah.
He doesn't think about it, just plays. Højlund, you can tell, isn't a very smart player.
Yeah.
But he tries to think and he tries to like work out what's going on, but his brain doesn't work quick enough. And by the time he's done all of this, the ball's gone and it's bounced off him.
Yeah.
But I think the only benefit the difference between the two, when Højlund does it, at least the ball stays here, so the centre-back gets it.
Yeah.
It bounces off him, he doesn't get the ball. But when Xerxes does it, it bounces 30 yards back and the centre-middle striker gets on the ball and we've got a problem. So, that's what sacked Erik ten Hag. It's tough for Amorim to come and play with those two, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do.
You need... As long as that front three has got one player in it who's creative and can keep the ball, Ahmad in there, or Ahmad or Xerxes, one of the two, then you can have the direct players around it.
Go for it, Lastly, who's your man of the match? You said it was Ugarte, did you say?
Yeah, I'd give it Ugarte.
Yeah. Let's go.